This is the progression. A father creates a wound by his absence, his lack of engagement, and from that, vows are made, a set of rules that we live by, a subconscious code on which we base every decision. Vows are constructed with terms such as "I will always" or "I will never." The danger in those vows lies in how we take them to others in our lives and how these absolutes never allow us a life of true freedom.
It gives us the lens that we look at life through, and that vow typically looks like I will never be poor, or I will always be skinny, or I will never be laughed at, or I will never be hurt again, or to the extreme, depend on how the child's heart was handled, is I'll never be a man, or I'll never be beautiful.
He was just never there. He was never there, period. If I have a child, I would always be there for them. I don't care hell or high water if I was overseas or not. I mean, I would be there. I wouldn't have to think about it. I mean, if I have to kill somebody to get to my son, I would kill to go see my son.
Watch and listen now as you hear the end result of a father wound come to life in the vows of these few who represent the many.
I've come to the realization that if he doesn't want me in his life, then there's no need for me to be. You know, I've made the promise to myself that I would never repeat what my father did to me and to my sisters and to my mother.
And then he would constantly tell me that I was gonna, that I inherited the fat gene and that I was gonna blow up like my mom and be a big fat blimp. Yeah, when and if I ever do have children, I would never make them feel the way he made me feel. I definitely vow to that, or never have them see me do the things that he's done.
To be honest, he's missed out on a lot. Now he asks me how am I doing in school, and I just tell him great. But in reality, I'm not doing so good. When I have children, it doesn't matter how many, I'm going to treat them all the same, regardless if it's a boy, girl, you know, race, doesn't matter. They're my children, you know. I decided to bring them to this world. I'm going to take care of them.
I was still very hurt. I was mad and I was hurt and I was angry. But more than anything, I wanted to show him that I didn't need him. And that was when I just felt so alone and so abandoned that I don't know, it's like I vowed I would never trust anyone. And then, you know, life began. I had to do it by myself, and I did.
You're only going to hit me hard once. But when my mom and dad died, that was the hardest hit I've ever took. You know, there's a good Johnny and there's a bad Johnny. I want to stay with the good Johnny. I want to be happy. I want to get on a horse and take off. I want to wrestle with my kids. But when the depression kicks in, don't matter what comes by me, I'm gonna hurt you. And it's awful, because that's not really me.
In the West today,